Alright, good afternoon, folks. Sorry if I sound a little tired. I just came back from getting some lunch, which is why I'm in the sweater and my glasses are dark. But I'm here to record probably my final installment of Story Time with Nick for at least today. This one is entitled Shade. We're going back into June 2015 for this one. So, I'm in 6th grade, and this day happened to be field day, which, if you don't know what that is, we go to, at least in my town, we go to the county park, we play some sports, we have a good time, we have some actually decent school food, if you've ever heard of that. That actually happens only one day a year ever. But we have a lot of fun, and that day is really nice. So, this this specific field day was actually really, really hot. I think it was about 80 degrees out. Uh, we were playing, I believe, baseball, and my team was out for the time. So I was just sitting there with a friend of mine. We were just chatting it up, doing not much. The teachers were just sitting down first row on the bleachers. Like our county park has little baseball stands and some bleachers on them, just for effect or whatever. People always sit there. So we're just sitting there, just chatting it up. The teachers are sitting a couple rows below us, but within earshot. They're just watching the game. All is good and well. So some clouds start rolling in, and I'm relieved because I'm boiling in the hot sun. And one big one really rolls over the sun, and it looks like it's going to be shady for a while. So I'm like, shade, finally. And then the teachers, in just total shock and disgust, whip their heads 180 degrees almost at me and go, inappropriate! And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? My friend looks at me, genuinely confused, like, I can tell in her expression, like, what did he do to get the teacher so pissed off all of a sudden? They were just sitting there enjoying the game, and I was just sitting there talking with her, and everything's fine. And then all of a sudden, the teachers are turning on me for one remark. In my head, I genuinely thought it was inappropriate to say shade at that time. Like, yeah, it's 85 degrees out. No shit, Sherlock. We need some shade. It's not the right time. Or something like that. So, I really had no idea what was going on. The rest of field day goes on as normal. And then we get back for the end of the day. We go back to school. And we're just chilling in the AC. And the teacher calls me up. Nicholas! I'm like, yes? Come here! She's just shouting at the top of her lungs, scaring literally everyone who's confused as I am. So she's like, here's your detention form. You will report to detention tomorrow at 7:30 in the morning. And I'm like, wait, what did I do? She was like, you swore during field day. 2 teachers heard you. So obviously it was true because 2 of them heard you. And I'm like, I just took the form without any question because I knew I was only going to dig myself deeper into a hole there. So at that point, my main concern becomes my mother, who, if you ever show her a detention form, will lose her shit. Ask me how I know. So, my first priority when I get home is to reason with her first. So, surprisingly, I did that. I told her, hey, there was some miscommunication. I'm assuming they heard me say shit, which I referred to as the S word at that time because I was much younger. So, I'm like, I'm pretty sure they heard me say shit when I was actually saying shade. It was 85 degrees out today, and I just wanted some clouds to roll over. So she was genuinely understanding, and then immediately got mad. Not at me, but at the teachers. She's like, I really need to talk to someone who knows what the fuck they're doing. Do you have any of the teachers' phone numbers or something like that? And it clicked in my head. No, but let me get my school calendar because it has all the principal and vice principals' phone numbers on there. And she's like, oh, good, we can get this sorted out. So I bring her the phone number, and on the top right corner is the principal's phone number, which she dials up and fortunately answers. Now, so my mother and the principal start talking. The principal's kind of confused to who she's talking to at first, but as soon as my mother says my name, the principal is actually kind of shocked because the principal knows me. She knows me as just a quiet kid who doesn't like making trouble, and actually you can have a decent conversation with. So she's kind of shocked, and she's like, "Wait, what happened to him?" And my mother's like, "Well, he got detention for supposedly swearing when he actually didn't." So the teacher, or I'm sorry, the principal asked me. Well, she asked my mother, and then my mother asked me, which teachers were there. So I tell her which teachers were the ones that kind of made their remarks at me. And then I told her which teacher signed the detention form because it was actually because my sort of homeroom teacher, the one whose class I'm in, so to say, I think you know where I'm going with this. She gave me the form, but two different teachers actually overheard me say shade and thought that I was saying shit. So those two told her, and then she was the one that wrote up the form. So I sort of relayed to the principal that these two teachers overheard me, but this one is the one who signed the form and said, you got detention tomorrow for swearing. So the principal says, okay, I'm going to get this all resolved, and maybe in about an hour or two, I'll call you back to let you know what happened. So 2 hours go by. Now, before we reach the conclusion of this story, I just want to tell you something. When it comes to old principals and teachers like this one was, because this principal was probably in her early 70s, there's two types of old teachers. There's the old teachers that are just constantly grumpy and scream at everyone for no fucking reason and give you detention for every single little thing you do, micromanage you every second you're in their class. That's one type. And then there's the old type that has been there for long enough, who knows how shit works, and can actually get shit done without using anger and screaming at everyone. This principal was that kind of teacher who reasons shit out and uses her head when it comes to shit that may anger her. So, about 2 hours later, she calls my mother back and says, "Good news! I've gotten your son's detention revoked. He's not going tomorrow." And also, I spoke to the teachers who overheard this incident. We will have no more. You will not have to worry about them anymore, or something like that. So I'm pretty happy, and just to celebrate, I kept a detention form. So next morning, I go to school. I'm kind of happy, and so the three teachers, the two who overheard it, and the one who wrote up the detention form, they all sort of gang up on me, but they all say, "Hey, we're sorry, we didn't know, we misheard. There was a lot going on, this and that and that." And it didn't really make sense to us why you would do that, because you're a good kid, and this and that and that. And point being, the issue is resolved. I never went to detention because of something I never said. That's going to wrap up this one. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.